We jumped up and we said, "Where at?" The lady said, "The shopping go." It's K Exquisite, and I am here with my very first video. And as you can see by the title, we are about to talk about the day that I got the call of my boyfriend being shot. So let's get into it. So I'm gonna start from the very beginning of that day on June 18th. So you know how usually people will be like, you know, the day started off like a regular day, you know, but I would say in that case, it didn't. It was like from the very moment we woke up, like our usual schedule was a little bit different. Well, a lot different, because for one, that Friday was the first day that I started my summer break and I didn't have to work. So usually Tay was the one who was home with Sincere in the morning, and he would take him to daycare while I was at work because Tay worked nights. So this particular morning, I was already up. It was about 8 o'clock in the morning when I got up. It was about 8 o'clock, and I was up and I was just laying in the bed waiting for Tay to wake up because I knew that he had school. And so he finally woke up, and you know, he was like, good morning, and he was like, y'all have a good day. And I was like, what? Because I'm like, you taking Sincere to school, I'm not getting up. So he was like, well, I'm running late, so go ahead and just take him. So I was like, okay, cool. So that was the first thing that was kind of off about that day, because like I said, usually Tay takes him to school, so you know, he would have been with, Sincere would have been with his dad that day. But fast forward, you know, got our day started. I'm taking Sincere to daycare, but I'm talking to Tay. Well, I'm texting Tay, and we was just talking about, I was talking about Sincere, how Sincere had woke up kind of sick that morning because I guess the house was kind of cold. So I was talking to Tay about that, and then ended up seeing him a couple minutes later, and when we saw each other, he was coming in the house, I was leaving out the house, but we was rushing, so it was like this. Like, I was like, when I had thought about it, I was like, damn, when I saw him, I don't even remember if I saw his face, because it was like this. Like, it was weird. Like, going back, it was very weird, because it's like, damn, he was like a ghost. Like, so fast forward to, I would say, 3 o'clock. So I'm driving, and I'm in traffic coming from Hampton. So I'm on my way home, and I looked at the clock, and it was like 3 o'clock. So I'm like, oh, let me hurry up and call Tay real quick. So I called Tay. I'm like, hey, did you leave out for work yet? Because he had to be to work at 4 o'clock. And he was like, no, I'm sitting outside. I'm about to leave. And I was like, okay, well, can you run and go upstairs and take Sincere's tablet off the charger, because I don't want it to overcharge. I'm on my way to go get him from daycare now. And he was like, okay. I was like, oh, matter of fact, can you get the charger and take it to my mama's house? Because that's where I was going to go at once we picked him up. So, and that, like, in mama's house, my mama stayed downstairs for me. So it was like boom, boom, bam. So he went and did that, and then we got off the phone. And I remember him saying that he wanted me and Sincere to come up to his job. He was working in Virginia Beach, at the Virginia Beach 7-Eleven that day, and I was like, okay, whenever I finish getting my hair done, because I also had a hair appointment that day. And it's crazy because my hair appointment was supposed to be at 3, but I was running behind, being in traffic, so I ended up pushing it back to 5. That's another thing that was kind of off about my schedule. Or I would say, like, didn't go as planned. Nothing that I was supposed to do that day went as planned. So, like, I'm stuck in traffic. I'm, like, probably 15 minutes away from home, but with traffic being so packed, so backed up, it was, like, 30 minutes. It kept saying 30 minutes. And you know how, like, your GPS maps will show, like, red or yellow? It was all red, all red, all red. So it was like 3:40 something. Kiana called me, and I was like, hello, and she was like, come here, Tay got shot. And I was like I immediately, like, my whole body kind of like froze for a second, because I'm driving at the time. So I'm like, hold on, I gotta put the car over. I gotta get out the car. So I put the car in park or whatever, and then I was like, what? Like, what? I can't remember what I said, because it was kind of like I was having an out-of-body experience. So I don't remember what exactly I said, but we on the phone, and when I mean Kiana was calm, like she was calm when she called me. She was like, Kania, I'm like, what's up? She was like, Tay just got shot. And I was like, where at? Like, what happened that fast? Like, where the hell did he go that fast? And she was like, Tiny Giant. So when she said Tiny Giant, I automatically assumed that it was some, wrong place at the wrong time type of thing. I didn't know, like, the background of it. So, I'm like, what the fuck? I done told Tay stop going up to that store, because it's always some bullshit at that store. Like, it's ghetto. It's very ghetto. So I was just like, stop going to that store. It's always shooting in that area. So they was on their way to the hospital. So I'm like, oh shit, I gotta call his mama. So I'm like, I know when I call her, I have to be calm, because don't nobody want to get a call saying that their son was shot. And it being crazy, like, oh my God. So I held up with Kiana and I called Miss Keisha. And she answered the phone, sounded so sweet as always. Hey, baby. I'm just like, Miss Keisha, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, what? And then as soon as she said what, the way she said what was kind of like, you could tell like something was going on. So I heard Tay dad in the background snapping immediately. He didn't even know what she had said, what I had said on that other line of that phone. But he immediately started snapping. At the time, we don't know where he was shot at on his body. We don't know what type of condition he is in. So everybody calm, like we freaking out, like we shaky. I'm feeling weird right now just talking about this. But I'm on the phone and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm not there. My sister is there. They're not giving them no type of information on his current condition or whatever. So they get to the hospital and Kiana just keeps saying, Kania, where you at? He in the operation room or whatever. And I'm like, I'm on my way. Traffic was not moving at all. When I mean not moving at all, it was not moving. Like, a part of me wanted to just get out the car and just run through the tunnel on the interstate just to help her get there, because I'm calm. I'm feeling weird inside. Heart racing, feeling scared. I'm just thinking, okay, we'll get to the hospital and, he's going to have to be in the hospital for a couple of days to recover. I'm not thinking that the situation would be deadly, like, at all. That was the last thing that I thought. To the point that I didn't stop and pray. I didn't say, Lord, Lord, please just get him through this. Because I didn't know what type of situation it was. I'm thinking he must have got shot in the arm or leg or something. Because, like I said, Kiana called me calm. Like, I knew it was tragic because he got shot. Nobody want to get shot, whether it's in your arm, your hand, your foot. Nobody want to get shot. So, I'm getting scared because when she first called me, she wasn't crying. Then I know she in the hospital. She called me crying now. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? And she was like, call Anita. So I called Anita. She cried. And when I first talked to Anita, she was working. She had her headset on. She was working, but we knew, like, okay, putting clothes on. She basically off work and she crying. So I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, Anita, she saw something on Instagram. So I'm like, what the hell was it? She was like, I'm not telling you. I'm gonna call you back. I was like, Anita, tell me right now, what was it? Or whatever. So she ended up telling me. So I'm like, nah. He ain't dead because he was just an ambulance. When I talked to Kiana, he was an ambulance. If you're an ambulance, that means they're trying to get you help. I'm like, he's not dead, because if he was dead, he would still be outside on that ground. So, Lord, I'm shaking. Hold on. So, like I said, Kiana went from, she called me and she was calm. Then she called me and she was crying. Then she called me, and that last time she called me, she didn't have to say nothing. She didn't say nothing. I heard that Tay had passed. Like, I heard that he died, because her cry was just, it was terrifying. Like, it was just so much pain in that cry. It was just like, And all I heard her crying. It's not funny, but she was like, who did it? Who did it? She wasn't crying like that, but she was just like, who did it? Who did it? It was like, I felt it, like it hit me, but it still was just like, couldn't have been true. It couldn't have been true. Like that couldn't have happened. Like, nah, he alright. But, so I finally get back to Norfolk. And I'm in my head the whole time, I'm like, I'm not going to that hospital. I don't want to go to that hospital. I'm not going to the hospital. And luckily, by the time I got to Norfolk, everybody had left the hospital at that time, so there wasn't no reason for me to go. But when I pull up to the house, I'm like, I want to go. I'm just like, I do not want to go to this house at all. So I pull up and I see all my family coming outside. So I'm like, oh Lord, I'm gonna have to face this shit. I'm like, nope, I'm not getting out this car. I'm not getting out this car at all. So Kia dragged me out the car. Mommy! Hey, Fanny. So actually I have Kiana here with me so she can kind of like tell y'all a little bit more. She's not gonna get in camera. Kiana, what was your first reaction when she came to the door and said that he had been shot?
I asked her, I said, what boy? She said, the boy with the baby and the girl from upstairs. We jumped up and we said, where at? The lady said, the shopping gun. So we went up there, we seen his car at the gas pump. We seen, it was a whole crime scene, The police, my boyfriend asked the police where he was located at. They said he's at Norfolk General. So we drove up to Norfolk General, and first thing I said, my brother, he got shot. Please tell me what's going on. She said, man, he's in a trauma unit right here. He said sit right here. You can just wait right here. So then I kept calling my sister, like, come here, where that we at? Call Miss Keisha and them. They say he in the trauma unit, or whatever. So we're just waiting. I get on the phone with my best friend, and she said, Kiana, they saying something bad on social media. I'm like, no, they're not, because we're here right now. She was like, Kiana, yes, and I'm like, tell me. She was like, no, I don't want to tell you. So, still calling my sister, waiting for them to come. His mom finally came. His mom going crazy. The policeman said,
what was that like when they first came in? Like,
when who first came in?
When the parents came in.
Irate, crazy, crying.
Like the worst thing ever.
The worst. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I just didn't think that was gonna happen. Like, exactly. I wasn't even, I'm not even gonna lie. I was shaken up. But I couldn't believe that we was at the hospital because this is something that happened. So I was praying, but I wasn't praying like, God, please. Yeah, I wasn't doing that. So then the lady, the officer said, y'all can either wait right here or y'all can wait in that room right there. And in my mind, I'm already like, why the hell they want to wait in this damn room for? Like, you already know why you're going in the room. So we went in the room. The doctor came, and the doctor didn't even say anything to us. He didn't say nothing. I seen right behind him the lady name tag said chaplain. We just screamed and bust out crying because we already knew. We already knew. Like, I knew. Nobody else seen that the chaplain except for me. We didn't even really get to talk to the doctor.
So when the lady came up and the doctor came up, chaplain came up and the doctor came up, what did they say?
They didn't say nothing because we just I started busting out crying because I knew. So then my boyfriend said, yo, chill out. They didn't tell us nothing yet. So I said, okay. I asked the doctor, I said, can you please tell us what happened? And he said he was shot 5 times. There was nothing that we could do about it. And we just bust out crying.
And Skip said that it was all over the floor. Like, they was all just scattered over the floor, just going crazy, literally going crazy. He was like, he trying to make sure Kiana's okay, trying to make sure Miss Keisha's okay. Like, he was like, it was just real bad because it was only them four there. So he trying to get everybody calm, not really calm because there wasn't really nothing you could do, but he's just trying to make sure that everybody is okay, they're breathing and stuff like that, because that would have been a whole other situation if they would have passed out or anything.
So then the police officer had came in with his clothes and everything, I guess his belongings, and I just hit the bag out the police officer's hand so hard, and I ripped the bag. I'm so sorry. You know, we just crying. The chaplain lady, she let us cry. She didn't say not one word to us. She didn't tell us be quiet. She just let us cry. She didn't tell us that we need to leave. They just sat right there and just let us cry, scream, holler, cry, scream, holler, cry, scream, holler.
Because it wasn't that they could say.
I don't know how or when I finally called my sister and told her that, but
no, I can't
even really remember.
Oh, when you called me and told me what chaplain people said, you didn't say anything.
I didn't say nothing?
No, to this day, nobody has ever told me to my face, Kania Tay was shot and killed, or Tay died. You never said no. No, bro. You called me and your tears said everything, because, like I told them, your cry when you first called me, it was Kania Tay got shot.
Yeah.
Then it was crying, where you at, where you at? And then it was weeping. Yeah. It was weeping. It was just like, then I heard Miss Keisha in the background. So you never got anything out. You never said it. You never said it.
Wow.
Nope. You never said it. I'm mad that I was stuck in traffic, but once everything, settled down, I'm just like, after I heard the stories of what that was like in that hospital,
you wouldn't want to be there. You wasn't meant for you to be there.
I'm already traumatized just by seeing him in a casket. So to be there and someone in a chaplain and a police officer and a doctor come out and tell you this has happened.
They said that, and it was nothing they could do. You trying to
That's
tell
something
me
you hear on
nothing
TV.
That you can do about it. We was not expecting them people to come in. That doctor did not even have to tell us nothing, because when that lady walked around the corner and she had that chaplain name tag on, I lost it. Until Skip said, hey, yo, chill out. They didn't tell us nothing yet. And I was like, okay. I was like this and with my hands and said, Doctor, can you please tell me what happened?
How the hell did this happen? How did this happen? For one, I told y'all, I called Tay at 3 o'clock and I said, can you take the tablet to my mama's house? Kiana was there. Kiana grabbed the tablet from Tay. Mm-hmm. And then he left. And then that's, boom. It was like this. And they said some girl, we don't know who this girl is. If y'all know who she is, tell her to reach out to us so we can, thank her, because had she not came and looked for us, we would have never known this happened until it was on the news, or until we would have realized, okay, like, Tay, what the hell Tay at? You know what I mean? I was supposed to go. He wanted us to come to the job and, see him, because he worked overnight. He wouldn't have got home until the next morning. So that would have been a whole other situation right there.
They didn't hear the gunshots.
Yeah, they didn't hear the gunshots. And it's crazy because they didn't hear the gunshots because it was some contractors out there working on the stairwell. So the noise was covered up. They didn't hear anything at all. I get back home and I calm down after crying and stuff like that. And I was like, I told Kiana Scott, I was like, I want to go up there. I remember not even fully understanding what was really going on, but I see what's going on. And it's just still like, bitch, what is going on for real? Like, it was just like, I don't even think I had no words. I remember the detective had walked over to us and Kiana was like, this is the girlfriend. And I was just like, I don't got no questions. I think I asked something about his car, or it was a bag on the floor, on the ground. And I was like, what is that bag? And they was just like, it was just a kit. some type of forensic kit. And I was like, oh, well.
It could have been a forensic kit because that bat was out there when we first got there. It had to be something that the paramedic.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. Resuscitation, something like that. Some type of rescue kit.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know, like, I don't have any more questions. It wasn't nothing left for them to say. It wasn't nothing for them to say. But from that very moment, it still never really hit. I think the most it hit when it was, that night it hit. I remember us staying up all night. We got like 1 hour or 2 hours of sleep. And I just remember, so it just being painful in there. Like, it was like 10 of us at my mom's house, sleep on the floor, the couch, the bed. We had air mattresses. And we just stayed up the whole night. And when we finally went to sleep, I woke up crying out my sleep. And we was back up again. It was just the worst thing in the world. But I'm gonna end it right there. I think we talked about this enough. We want to get back in a good mood. Yes. So thank y'all so much for tuning in.